So it is already 31. How many times you have to answer in your mind only because you all are mature. So it's not like treating you like you guys are more intelligent than me. So it is not like treating you guys like a kid. How many times I did not do the practice last week in the morning and evening? Why? What happened? Did I contemplate and reflect on it? If I contemplate and have contemplated and reflected, the life is going to change. If I do not, why I did not contemplate, why I simply said, okay, it's a part of the life, why should I do it? And it is because of your mind, it is because of your ignorance, it is because of your forgetfulness. Let us examine each step in a clear, in clarities for understanding. How many times did we actually recall? Just see, the first step is awareness. Catch yourself in the moment. So you ask the mind that, oh, mind said, no, I have to practice, and you avoided to practice. You neglected, you rejected. You are not learning, and you are learning only intellectually. There is an absence of humility. I woke up in the morning, we have an urge to go to the restroom, we don't stop it. But there is a message that please do the practice and we avoid it. It will not work. Eastern wisdom is very clear about it. You forget doing the practice. So one reason the mind is deluded, it doesn't care. It only cares when we are in a session. Then we become so serious. No, I'm deadly serious. I'm committed. I will do it. So a week passes, months passes, years passes, and we don't do it. Tell me if it is not true. And if it is true, that is still the first step. So you are catching yourself in a moment. You know, catching means what? You notice the thought, feeling, they manifest a state in your mind. Either it prevents you to practice or it inspires you to practice. Or your mind says, I already have an anxiety and reaction. I have no time to practice. No place to practice. You can check yourself how many times you do the practice. You have done it last week or last 2 weeks and last 3 weeks. You will understand that you give an opportunity to the default mind that is already deluded. Your mind pressing you seeking pleasure outside. That is why we don't do the practice. Even we remember. Even we feel. We know. We have caught ourselves in that moment and still we don't do it. That is why Eastern wisdom says we have to become a seeker. If we are not a seeker, then even we continue to attend these sessions for years and years, there is no chance. Point number 2. First is the point we have understood the very nature of the mind, and we have understood that even I remember, but I avoid. I remember, I react. I remember, I I react to it. I'm already in a problem. Why should I do the practice? Or I forget to do the practice. Why I forget? Because mind is deluded. It doesn't care. Second point. Eastern wisdom says start with the first practice I've been telling about, Mangalachar and mindfulness or any mindfulness meditation. Every single day without fail. Why? Your regular practice creates an impression in the mind, and these positive impressions gradually dissolves the past impressions of anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Your mind doesn't believe so, so it doesn't happen. Ask yourself during the last week how many times you simply remember and you sat down to do the practice. If yes, you are already becoming a seeker who wants to grow, because your mindset is already clear that I'm still doing the practice. I woke up at 3:45 and until 6:30 I don't worry about anything. I just sit down. If no, you are staying in the same state of the mind, trapped by the default mind, always chasing happiness outside instead of within, and that is why we don't do the practice. I know, I understand, but I don't change. And then I know, then there is only one thing: either we blame the Eastern wisdom or we blame the teacher. We don't ask, why do I keep forgetting? It is a matter of the old habits and impulsive nature in the mind. That is why I forget it. It is the default mind. So I have to change this default mind. Then comes my master's advice. My master said to me that, oh, how many times you did the practice? I said only 2 days and 5 days I forget in early days. He said, what happened? Why didn't you do it? I don't feel like doing it. So my master said, you simply sit, make it a point, you wake up and you sit. Don't move from there for an hour. And keep on noticing the thought. The mind resists, mind reacts, and still you continue to sit. Don't move from there. Make it a resolve that you are not moving. You just sit. Mind says, no, I don't want to do it. Don't do the practice, but sit. Mind rejects the practice, but you sit. Your mind may resist, coming up with every excuse not to practice. Not to practice that thought, that idea, that feeling coming from the default mind. I become one with the default mind, so I don't do it. So you simply fix the time and you simply sit. So I started sitting for an hour. Someday I did not, I failed. But I was sitting for an hour. Second day, third day, fourth day, keep sitting. And one day the mind will change and remind you of the practice itself. You will be absorbed into the practice. Practice also includes that you are just sitting. You have a time for practice. You have a time for the self-discovery. Just check 1 hour. And 1 hour, I don't want to do anything. I will just keep sitting. Then my master told me, you insist for expecting pleasure from the world outside. You land up fighting and reacting and hesitating and frustration and depression. But when you insist that I will practice, you will succeed. We don't insist. Our insist on others. I insist on others. I insist on a situation, on an event, on a person. And I rationalize how right I am, how wrong are others. Find out if it is not true. It's a deeper than modern psychology. Modern psychology doesn't stand. Did I insist that I have to sit? No. Did I insist, my honey? Yes, I always insist, and I land up fighting. That you are wrong and how I am right. Did you insist on meditation? No. Oh, I don't feel, I forget, and all excuses that comes into the step number one. I have already explained. My master then told me that if you don't insist on the practice, it will never work in your life. We don't insist. You don't insist. Why? Because we have 100 excuses. Why you insist on a person, situation, and event outside? Why don't you think that if I insist it will land up reaction and anxiety? It is better to escape. It is better to keep quiet. No, after all, I have a big ego. Why should I not insist? Find out in your life, is it true or not? I'm not saying anything. You all are wonderful. I will insist. When you insist meeting your expectations outside of any situation, any person, any relationship, you land up with a default mind which is impulsive. You react, you are frustrated. It is your experience. I don't want to change my experience. I keep on insisting. But I don't insist on the practice. I will. No, I woke up late. Okay, I'm busy. Okay, let me complete my work and then I will sit. Instead of gentle punishment, instead of 1 hour, I will sit for 2 hours. But what I will do for 2 hours? I will listen 2 sessions. This idea doesn't come to the mind. Why it doesn't come to the mind? My mind always insists. The default mind is always expecting peace and happiness outside. Just see. Is it right or not? I don't say, am I right or not? Eastern wisdom. My master, insist. Insist on the practice. Did you understand? Yes, I understand. Insist. Force your mind to sit. Mind says no, just still keep sitting. And I find every opportunity to react, to insist, to create reaction in my mind, to allow other person to react. We land up fighting into anxiety, reaction, duality, and a conflict. After a few days, we forget, we restart. There is no reset button. Reset means that now I'm not going to do it. Isn't it? Reset button means that. It doesn't mean that I have to repeat the same thing. So that is the third step. My master's advice is the third step. I just remember, so I thought better to talk about it. Then the point 4, master says that first thing first, Mangalacharan mantra. Whether you say Mangalacharan, whether you say mantra, whether you say that we have a positive intention. Mangalacharan means auspiciousness, invoking auspiciousness. My mind is full of anxiety reaction when I wake up in the morning because I fought yesterday. Oh, let me leave it. Let me, let me continue my, let me start with the mantra. Mind does not listen, I'm starting with the mantra. I'm repeating it. Mind is not listening, I'm repeating it. Mind is not listening, I'm repeating it. Mind is not listening, and I say you are better to leave the practice. I'm not a seeker. I'm not changing. Not changing. So, mantra is a tool to withdraw the mind from that state of the mind seeking expectations of peace and happiness outside to inside. And it opens up your heart and clearing the distraction. It does not happen. I know it will not happen. That was my case. I was a total failure, but I continued doing it. I never left the practice. Mind, I can give you another example that if you have accumulated lot of dust on the floor and shining floor is now full of accumulated dust, it takes time to clean it. Shining floor is still available. It is not damaged even if you have few inches of accumulated dust on the floor. You just remove it and floor is still shiny. We don't have a conviction that peace and happiness are within. Oh, it is intellectual. The guy says, just accept it in a session. Otherwise, I know peace is always. It means it is the default mind. It is not listening. It is not inspired. It is not self-motivated. It is not working. And still I see that if some magic will happen, no magic will happen in the life of those people who live with the default mind, who are constantly expecting peace and happiness. No magic will happen. And if the magic will happen, the worst magic will happen. You will go deep into tension and stress and suffering. And then you will become a philosopher. My whole life is full of pain and grief and suffering. We become a great philosopher. I can tell you, you might be thinking at this age, my life has never been, the world is responsible for it. My honey and my kids and my siblings and everything outside. Now I will continue, I will die soon. There is nothing left in my life. Our mind does not leave. After the session, you will think, that neighbor, I don't want to talk to the neighbor. Your mind starts reacting. To the neighbor, to the honey, to the siblings. This mind can do the practice and succeed. Master says, yes, it can succeed. You simply sit. The first fourth point that we pick up the mantra, we do whatever it takes. I insist. Mind says no, you still insist. You will succeed. Very thick layer of accumulated impurities in the mind. It is always full of expectations. I'm not going deeper, it is because of the Rajoguna. We have three gunas. Rajoguna pushes your mind to activity. We say when I sit with eyes closed and the body is fidgeting, the mind is running after, it is because of the guna, quality of the nature, the activity, why the electron is moving around the nucleus, why the sun is moving. So there is a common element, it is known as the rajoguna. And that rajoguna mixes with the default impulsive mind. It creates a reaction, unwanted thought. What happens when I sit with a motivation, with an inspiration that I will definitely sit, come what may. Now my mind is not wants to do, okay, I will sit, with eyes closed. My master's advice was wonderful for me. So there is because I have decided to change myself, so that is why I'm sitting. Mind is not supporting me, okay, let it not. How long? I'm not led by the mind. I have to lead the mind. Once we have that thought, we will succeed. Otherwise, your mind may give you 100 excuses. The masters of Eastern wisdom is not interested in listening your excuses. I had a pain in the back, or I lie down, sit on a chair. We don't want to follow this. And we pick up the mantra. We have been doing the mantra. Just see, just do it. Let us see that how these 4 and 5 points work. Close your eyes and sit down. Just close your eyes and sit down. Then we will analyze and reflect. Close your eyes and just sit down. You are sitting and eyes are closed, and you have a thought that you are going for a journey of the self-discovery. So you should have a thought like this. Even the mind has other thoughts, you introduce another thought. What is the other thought? What is the other thought? What other thoughts you introduce? Oh, I am going for self-discovery. I'm going for self-discovery, and the mind starts running here and there. Let it run. Mind starts running here and there. Here and there, I mean, you already understood that point. Mind says, I cannot sit idle, so even if you move, you are mindful, even if the body moves, and you say, your mind says, no, I will not move from now. I will not move from now. You catch yourself, you notice now. You notice, you observe, if I use the word, it is self-awareness. If the self-awareness is not there with a human being, you cannot do anything. So you notice, you observe, and that is what the self-awareness. So what happens in self-awareness? Your eyes, your eyes are closed, just closed. You're casual. Knowledge and understanding both are going together. Your eyes are closed. You're just looking. Your eyes are closed. Your eyes are closed. So what other thoughts I'm going for a self-discovery? You introduce the thought. But if you forget this thought, how can it means you don't want to do the practice. You may forget the thought. So mind starts running here and there. If the body moves, your mind says, I will not move from now. This is what you are noticing, observing. your mind with eyes closed, looking inside you. You are noticing, observing your mind. What do you mean by observing your mind? Observing the mind, that you notice what thoughts and feelings are coming and going into the mind. That is your first step. That is the point number one. Just you are casual, just casual. You can do anytime. You notice first what is going on in your mind rather than what is happening outside in relations, situations, condition, events at all. Self-awareness or noticing means you discern outside versus inside movement of the mind. Outside movement, the mind with the thought is looking outside with a person. That is the point number one. And that is what I used to do with being comfortable and being carefree. And now the point number two. Am I really? Ask your mind is, am I really interested? Am I really interested in meditating? Mind is rejecting. No problem. Just check it. I'm saying observing again. Observing. Am I really looking for peace and happiness within? And your mind will remind you, insist, peace and happiness are outside. That is the problem. The mind does not want to live into that state. Mind does not want to live in a state where it is looking inside. So what happens when mind does not? It will move the body. It will move the body. Excuse of scratching the body. And laziness. Or you may fall into sleep. So it will happen, let it happen. I will return again and I will do the point. Now the third point I said, insistent. Insisting. What does it mean by insist? I insist mind to meditate. And the mind reacts. Let it react. Let it react. You simply notice and stay there. Stay there in a sitting position, free from any movement, of the body. The mind will surely move. Mind will surely move to other places, thoughts and people, thoughts and relation. Let it be so. Let it be so. But one thing you are insisting, one thing you insist. What you insist? I will not leave the place. I will not leave the place, position and posture of the body and I will continue sitting. I will continue sitting. I can warn you. Mind will say, okay, let me grab water and then I will sit. Don't do that. Mind will have millions of excuses. Once you sit, you are just sitting. Whether you fail or succeed today does not matter. You insist, conscious insistence, conscious insisting will help you succeed. Did I do it any time in these 4 years? Habitual insistence. What is habitual insistence? Your reaction, your anxiety, your duality, your blame, your complaint. It is habitual, it is impulsive. And that is why we don't change. So, what happens when you continue to insist every day? Someday the mind will say, okay, I agree with you. Means what? The body will not move. Body will not move. Mind will say, okay, what is the next? We have to reach to that state, to that state of the mind. When we reach to that state of the mind, that is the moment we introduce the fourth point. What is the fourth point? We pick up the mantra. You pick up the mantra and say the mantra mentally. Mentally, first 3 times. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve bhavantu sukhina. 3 times. 3 times the meaning we repeat. We know the meaning, still we repeat. We don't bring our ego. May there be happiness for all. 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 We are changing the narrative of the mind. So you change the narrative of the mind, narrative of the default mind, by the mantra, by reflection. So what is that reflection? You ask, may there be happiness for all? Is it possible? It is only possible if happiness is essential nature, not incidental. Incidental nature means temporary nature. So you asked a question pertaining to the mantra, may there be happiness for all. It is essential nature. It is essential nature. It means I am of the nature of happiness. I am of the nature of happiness. You know what is this? You have started recognizing the shining floor behind the dirt. And what is that dirt? Well, that dirt is the mind with its What is the dirt? That is the mind with its impulsive nature. So, does a question comes to mind that if happiness is within me, why I am seeking outside? Unless that doubt enters the mind. What is that doubt? The doubt that happiness is outside. If no doubt happiness is outside, default mind, it will not change. If there is a doubt about the peace and happiness outside, that is why we introduced, that is why we said happiness, let there be happiness for all. Let us pick up another mantra in the same way, another line of the mantra. May everyone be blessed. Let the grace and the blessing fall upon everyone. Grace and the blessing. Why? It is always available. Master says, our Eastern wisdom says, it is always available. It is always available. Why don't I see it? Why don't I feel it? Because of the dirt, because of the accumulated dirt. One reason. And because it manifests first from within. And I am looking grace outside. Not possible. So when the mind understands, it starts changing. If the mind does not understand, then we have intellectual understanding. We don't see it. So may there be grace and the blessing for all. It is always available, like the space, like the air. It is always available. It is always available, like the space or like the air. My lungs may not be right. Air is available. My mind is full of anxiety. I cannot see the space. The space is available. Example, to make my point clear. Now, in that state, you can go further. You can go further. Okay, I have understood. So I have changed the narrative of the mind. So when I have changed the narrative of the mind, let me check if mind continues to stay. If the mind continues to stay in that state. How? So we follow the flow of the breath. So when we follow the flow of the breath, flow of a river, you don't change anything, you just watch. You don't change anything, you watch. You watch the flow of the breath. You know what happened? You returned to the first point, which you did not succeed in the beginning. You return to the first point where what I said in the first point, notice what is happening in the mind. Here, the point one now is what is the flow of the breath. Instead of instead of the thoughts and feeling. We did nothing, we simply returned to the point one. You know, you ask someone, oh, where is this beer guy house? Oh, and he says, take a right and then left and then straight and then left, and ultimately you reach to the same place. So all the 4 points is like this. Our level of self-awareness is not so sharp, hence we have to follow these steps. We may claim is one thing and fact is something else. So because our level of self-awareness is not sharp, hence we follow the first 4 steps. We follow the first 4 points and we returned to the point one again. That is the step number 5. What I said? Flow of the breath. So now it is very easy to be aware of the flow of the breath. That flow of the breath was available in the beginning. I'm making you understand, was available in the beginning. But when we do the flow of the breath or focus on the breath as the Google says, it will not work. We are not a seeker. So when you are simply aware of the flow of the breath, continue, you continue, so what happens then? Then what happens? The mind becomes sharper. So when the mind becomes sharper means what? It is aware of the feeling and the sensation of the in and out of the breath, incoming and the outgoing breath. You feel the flow inside, outside, sensation. Mind is getting absorbed within. That is the goal. It is not the goal that we pay attention to the breath and meditation will happen. We enjoy. We enjoy means mind enjoys the flow of the breath. Means what? If it enjoys, it is rejecting the impulsive thoughts naturally. Even if you have any thought, it's okay. It does not disturb you. Yes, now we are going deeper. So that is the point number 5. And the last point, the point number 6. So I ask the mind, do I feel or experience calmness, relaxation? If yes, we ask from where? It comes from within. It comes from within, behind the mind. So it means when the mind looks inside, lives inside, away from seeking happiness outside, that mind will manifest calmness, which is already within us. It is the first glimpse of that. First glimpse of the journey. Come what may, you insist that I will succeed, you will succeed. I don't know. I cannot say anything about anyone. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both of arms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. However, I believe you are not paying me in this month. We still have 2 weeks to go. So, how are you, Anne?
I'm fine. Yesterday I was a little bit upset about something. I did my meditation twice in a row and felt much better. What's now? Ay, ay, ay.
Good. Good. That's how we have to follow all the steps. How are you, John? In the beginning, you were a little bit confused. Later on, you realized I have already started.
I'm never confused.
Oh, very good. Oh, that's why you kept looking at me. I was insisting eyes are closed. Sorry to say, you are not confused. Yes, go ahead.
Now you're confusing me. I'm fine. Yeah, it was a good meditation.
Good meditation?
Yeah, they were quiet across the street tonight.
Oh, good, good.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, we hear you, Ed.
Yes, Charlie, you want to say something? Yes.
No, I was just saying hello to Anne. She just appeared, so I waved at her.
Yes, go ahead, Charlie.
I found that
I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Anne?
Yes.
I found that very profound and very helpful.
Very helpful, yes. Yes, that's another way I tried to...
I think I have no connection.
But still we hear you, you have no connection. Very good.
All right.
Without connection we can hear you. Good. So, how are you, Sophie?
I am good, Girish. It was a good meditation, even though at the beginning I was not sure you were starting or not. But
Yes.
what I've noticed recently is that I've been thinking a lot about the ego and how it really screws me up.
Yes. Yes.
And so I have a question. It's like when you are on the track of blaming and all that, then you attract people who do the same. Right?
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes, you are right. You
And
continue.
so when you stop doing that,
Yeah.
then it doesn't come from the outside neither.
That is why the master is saying stop blaming, complaining, reacting to any situation, any person. The moment we are blaming, complaining, it is our subtle ego which we do not recognize, but that we recognize at a later stage. But it is coming from the mind. The mind becomes impulsive. It remains outside. When I'm blaming and complaining, so mind is already outside. So it stops looking inside me. When it stops looking inside me, then the false I takes over. There is no I, there has to be some I. So the false I, deluded I takes over, and then it destroys our peace and happiness, love and wisdom. That is what happens. So that is why we say in the very beginning, pick up the mantra. Mantra literally means one meaning. There are 3-4 meanings. One meaning of the mantra, man, you see the man, in Hindi and in Sanskrit, man means the mind. And there are 2 syllables, the tra, the Sanskrit word tra means destroying. So you destroy the default mind, that is the meaning of the mantra. The default mind is impulsive, it is causing the ego. So that is another reason when we say, instead of ego, we say, oh, be humble, humility. Humility means I know that I have yet to know. So it means what I have yet to know, my nature. So it means whatever I have known, can I drop it? Yes, let me drop it. So when I drop what I know, I am humble. I am open. So anyhow, that is all for today. Thank you. We'll meet again. Yeah.
Mead hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. I feel that sense of being humble.
Okay.
And that my mind is much more at rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can just be here.
Yes. That is really good. Be here. and being humble. Yes, we have to remain humble all the time. Then there is always a peace and calmness. That is all. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you, Charlie.